In your name, amen.
Doug.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Praying for the show.
What show is that, Doug? Just tell her. Really, it's got to be about your rant. This is your rant, right? This is. We're back to this. What? We're back to your whole rant.
What?
Just tell everybody who we are. Really, come on.
Hey, everybody, you're listening to the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John on Santa Cruz hometown station, AM-1220 KHTS. We're here every Friday at 1:03. And it's another week and another show, John.
Now, okay, Doug. Okay, that little thing you were doing before.
What?
We're praying for
over
the show.
So we have a good show.
Now wait a minute. I read your rant.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm taking exception with it for the first time. There's another first. Doug's rant.
Wait, you take exception
tweaked.
with every rant I write. What's the difference
most of the time,
today?
No, most of the time you're good. Your rants are well thought out, but
you're saying
tweaked.
This one isn't.
This one I think is wrong. Recap for me if you would. Okay, and everybody who's listening, your rant. So I just want to hear your position.
Everybody should have read it already.
Everybody should have read it already, but I'm sure there's a couple people who may be listening out of the area.
My summation of this was when they took prayer out of school, starting in 1963, that society has been on a steady decline.
Wow, it also was the year that I was born. Should I take that personally?
Yeah, you might want to.
So society's been on, and you.
Now, I'm not saying I am no theological expert. I don't know. My feeling is you got to take a look at it. Is it just a coincidence that society has gone straight to hell since 1963 when they took prayer out of school?
Don't you think it is?
Or not? I don't.
No, wait a minute. That's not what you said.
No, I think there's a strong correlation. I do.
You think there's a strong correlation?
Because you tell me what else happened.
So you mean to tell me that if prayer had stayed in school, that we wouldn't be having any of the problems we're having today?
I don't think it would have been such a rapid descent into the abyss that we find ourselves in.
Well, that could have been 3 years ago or so, or 2 years ago, or 6 years ago. But that's a whole other issue. No.
Well, if you want to get into that, John, I mean, my thought started with this rant when a gentleman told me one day that he thought God had turned his eyes away from this nation. And that's why he's allowing all this stuff to happen. I didn't want to quite get into a rant like that, but I might someday. So I just started with the prayer being taken out of school.
Okay. But what about people who didn't believe in prayer in 1963? What about that?
I don't understand. What does that have to do with it?
Okay, but how about, okay, let's take prayer out of it for a second, okay? How about there's been a steady decline of morality?
Yes, I agree 100%, but why? The question is why?
Okay. I have a theory. I think you have your great-grandparents. Where are they from?
I don't know. They never told me.
Okay, but did they come to the United States or were they native born?
Everybody did.
Okay, everybody. Yeah. Most people's great-grandparents, or maybe in your case, your great-great-great-great-grandparents, came to the United States to build their kids a better life. Okay, whether it was religious persecution, political persecution, or looking for the American dream. Okay, they came here to try to build their kids a better life. Right? The next generation, what did they do? They worked really hard. They farmed the land, built log cabins, whatever, to try to get their kids a better life. Okay? Doug, your grandparents, okay, what did they do? Did they work really hard to get your parents a better life?
Absolutely.
What did your parents do?
Same thing.
They put you through college, didn't they?
Yeah.
Supported you, did all kinds of stuff. Well, I know you. What do you do for your kids? You work really hard.
Yep.
Okay, you've created your own business. You're trying to provide your kids a better life,
now,
right?
Wait, you're talking like a lawyer, and like the judge would say to you, "Sir, would you tie this up?" Please?
Oh, I can tie this up in 2 minutes, Peter. Not a problem.
What's Peter have to do?
Because he was giving me a peace sign.
2 minutes.
He liked me. The problem is, isn't that a zero-sum game? There's only so many hours in a day.
That lawyer speak, I don't get it. What zero-sum of what?
You can only work so hard.
What does it have to do with prayer in school?
We'll get there.
Okay. Sorry.
It's a decline in morality. We talked about this, remember? You've got a decline in morality because you can't work hard enough to continue to provide for your kids. Okay? And there are some people who can't provide for their kids anyway. So you've got all these kids, and they're looking at something else to provide for them instead of themselves. They're not taking the moral high ground most of the time. They're going ahead and I want it because my parents had it.
Right. So
or my friends.
So they look. You're saying they looked for the government.
They look to the government.
To get it,
they look somewhere else to get it, or they become more violent.
But isn't that just isn't that just a symptom of what I'm talking about? When did all that start? In 1963, society was a lot different than it is now. Something went wrong. Something has gone terribly wrong.
Do you think it's just one thing? I don't think it's just one thing. I think it's.
Oh no!
You're sitting there saying it's prayer. We're probably close to arguing the same thing. I think it's like lack of morality.
Maybe prayer, but God. When you take God out of the equation, Could he be turning his eyes away from this nation, and that's why we find ourselves in the mess that we are in? I'm just throwing it out there for people to think and speculate.
You can do that all you want, and I will play devil's advocate. That's funny. No pun intended. No, I don't know whether that's the case, because there's some people who don't believe in God. Or are they just along for the ride?
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that. Who's to say?
Who is to say? I can't.
But I think you may have hit in a point, and you can take it into a secular or non-secular basis, but there's become a decline of morality in the United States.
Yes, and the question is why?
I think that flows from the government.
Right, but did that all occur because of taking God out of schools and us turning as a nation away from God? Did that cause everything that you're talking about?
I don't think that's the cause.
Okay.
I think the cause is we've had, for the first time in the United States, we had an unjust war. Vietnam was not necessarily what you consider a just war. There's no good guy, bad guy.
Okay, that's a good point, but that's a symptom, though.
Which is that's more of a cause of the symptoms.
That occurred after what I'm talking about happened.
Well,
the big part.
Yeah, the big part of it. Yeah. Okay, but that already started. All right, enough of this. This is boring. We probably put
you
people
brought
to
it up.
You were praying at the beginning of the show.
I know.
Doug.
I'm blessing the show.
Okay,
have a good show.
Well, God bless you too, Doug. All right, you're listening to Santa Clarita's hometown station, the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John on AM-1220 KHTS. We'll be right back, and probably a little bit more entertaining.
UFOs, really, Peter?
This could be something to explore.
Peter wants us to do a show on UFOs. Our board up. All right, we'll do it.
That could be fun.
Anyway, folks, you're listening to Santa Clarita's hometown station, AM-1220 KHTS. It's the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John. It's the radio digest version of the Santa Clarita Gazette and Free Classifieds for everything you need to know to be in the know.
You know what time it is?
What time? I think it's 1:14.
No, it's time for my favorite segment.
What?
It's
she's back? She's been gone for a few weeks.
Miss Gazette.
Is she here?
Ole, 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 ole. Miss Gazette. Tell me you're there.
I'm here.
Yay!
Miss
How are you guys doing?
Go!
Miss Gazette, you sound a little under the weather. Are you okay?
I'm sick. I'm taking one for the team and coming to work.
Oh, great. So you're going to infect the entire staff.
Yeah, everybody's getting infected.
You got a slave driver of a boss who won't give you the day off?
No, he won't. Isn't he mean?
She never asked.
No, I didn't ask. He's right. I didn't ask.
She's a trooper.
In all fairness, I didn't ask.
Oh, so you're saving your sick days for something fun. I get it.
I would have said no anyway.
Thanks a lot, Doug.
Save your sick days for something fun. I see how it is.
Yeah, going to the beach.
Exactly. All right, Miss Gazette, make my day. What do you got for us?
I wanted to talk to you guys about a little bit about our Gazette this week, and I'll get to the classifieds again, but in a few minutes. But on our front cover, we have this incredible story. It's called "Furry Friends Aid in the Fight Against Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder." And I'm just going to tell you a little bit about it, but I'm going to encourage your listeners to pick up a Gazette this week and read the story. It's really impressive.
Most of our listeners already pick up the Gazette because they're that good.
Good. But here's what this is about, a little bit about it. It's even after coming back from the war, veterans find themselves working through the anxieties and stress of war and often reach out for a companion that in this case is the form of a furry friend. The Battle Buddy Foundation founders Joshua Rivers and Kenny Bass and John Campbell found the need for not only therapy dogs but service dogs for veterans suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder.
So these guys actually get dogs for vets coming back with PTSD. PTSD. Thank you.
And other disabilities as well.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It's a really, really interesting story.
And what's the name of the organization, Miss Gazette?
It's called the Battle Buddies Foundation.
Yeah.
That's a local charity, right?
Yeah. Battle Buddies Foundation. Yeah.
Yes.
That's interesting. And I take it the story in the Gazette has information on how you can contact them?
Yes, it has everything you need to know how to contact them. Their website is www.tbbf.org.
TBBF.
Yeah, it's Battle Buddies.
Something. Okay.
Battle Buddies Foundation, that's right.
But Battle Buddies Foundation.
And another thing I want to tell the listeners that the Michael Hoffman Gala is returning as it always does every year, but this year instead of being at the Mann Biomedical Park in Valencia, it's going to be at Robinson Ranch Golf Club on September 13th. So
wow! After all those years,
wow!
Really, they're moving after all those years.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep. So.
That's a pretty cool event. I've been a couple times.
It is. I love that event. It's fun. I was there when they just started out the very first time.
Wow.
I actually worked at the radio station you're sitting at.
Really?
Wow.
Wow. The
Well,
same
no,
chair?
I wasn't at that station.
The same chair?
Who knew?
No.
Oh, bummer.
Who knew?
Did you notice what she did say? She goes, "I've got, the Gazette has everything everything you need to know."
That's right.
That sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah, to be in the know.
All right, Miss Gazette, is there something good as in the classifieds this week?
Yes, I have a couple things. There's this gentleman that collects old comic books and monster magazines, and he will buy or trade for them. And if you have any in your garage or anywhere, give him a call at 253-1284. 253-1284.
What is he looking for?
Old comic books and monster magazines.
Hey, Doug, you can get rid of your Archie comic book collection. I know you got all
I
those.
used to love Archie comic books. Didn't you? Yeah.
You really read
I
Archie,
did.
Doug?
Veronica, what was her other name?
Betty.
Betty. And what was Archie's best friend?
There was Jughead and there was
Jughead,
Red.
Jughead.
Really? Come on, guys. How come I know this? Why do I know this?
I really like Jughead, too.
Why do I know this stuff?
Doug, you kind of remind me of Jughead.
Okay, so now we've got Miss Gazette looking for a job.
All right, we got time for one more.
Okay, a portable bar. You guys ought to like this. It's oak wood with 2 oak chairs and a tile top. Only $100 or best offer.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, so it's good for the backyard barbecues.
I thought you said portable. I was going to put it in my car.
No, it's too big to put in your car. John,
Sorry.
it's for your backyard. Anyway, if you want to call the guy about it, it's 259-5375.
259-5375?
That's right. Or you can go online and check out all of our ads at the SantaClaritaGazette.com.
All right.
And you could also read the story about Battle Buddies there, too, right?
Yes, you can.
Get all the
The whole
information.
magazine is online.
Yeah, all the information you need to make to either contact them if you need a dog or you're interested in their services, or make a donation, which is really, I'm sure, appreciated.
It's a great organization.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and the dogs are great looking. They all look like German Shepherds to me.
All right. Miss Classified, thank you so much for lightening up our day.
Oh,
As
thank
always.
you for calling.
All right, Miss Gazette, thank you.
All right. I keep calling you Miss Classified. We're changing your name back to Miss Classified. She reads the classifieds in the Gazette.
I
She
could
reads
be
other
both.
stuff,
I
too.
could be both.
Miss Gazette Classified.
She's
We're calling
flexible.
it. Flexible.
I'm flexible.
All right.
Bye, guys. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks. You're listening to Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John on AM-1220 KHTS, Santa Clarita's hometown station. We're going to be right back.